If you're about to close on a house and you have already aligned contractors, finished packing, and think about knocking down walls, I want you to slow down for just a second and watch this first, because some upgrades feel exciting in the moment, but later end up being some of the biggest money regrets homeowners make. And I'm not saying don't make your house your own, you absolutely should. But there is a big difference between upgrading your home because you love it and upgrading your home thinking you're going to get all that money back later. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through 10 home upgrades that often have a poor return on investment or just don't pay off the way people hope they will. And if you still want to do one of these after hearing this, that's totally fine. This is your house. I just want you going into it with your eyes open. And if you like videos like this, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe, because I share real estate advice like this all the time. All right, let's get into it. The first upgrade people often regret is installing wall-to-wall carpet. I know there are still people who love carpet because it feels soft and warm, especially in bedrooms. And if that's you, that's okay. But overall, buyers tend to prefer hard surface flooring. Carpet stains, it holds onto smells, it traps dust and allergens, and over time it starts to look worn, even when you try to take good care of it. So if you're thinking long-term resale, hardwood, engineered wood, or a quality LVP is usually the better move. The second one is adding a large backyard patio or outdoor fire feature. And this is one of those upgrades that can absolutely be worth it if you know you're going to use it and enjoy it, but from a return on investment standpoint, these usually don't bring back nearly as much as people think. They look beautiful, they are fun for entertaining, but if you go too big or too custom, you may not get that money back later. So if you want to do a patio, just be thoughtful about the size and the cost. The third one is adding a swimming pool, and I know this one can be controversial, especially depending on where you live. In some areas, buyers absolutely want a pool, but in a lot of situations, pools do not return what people spend on them. They are expensive to install, expensive to maintain, and they can increase your insurance costs too. So if you want a pool because your family will truly enjoy it, that is one thing. But if you're putting one in because you think it's going to dramatically increase your home's value, that usually doesn't happen the way people think it will. And if you live in a climate that is always warm and you can use the pool year round, then usually that can help with home value. But in a place like Colorado, a lot of times people are thinking the expense. We can only use an outdoor pool for a few months in the summer, or it would have to be heated year round, which can be very costly. The fourth one is high maintenance landscaping, things like koi ponds, elaborate fountains, exotic plants, or anything that takes a lot of upkeep. These can be beautiful, but they also appeal to a pretty specific buyer. And a lot of people don't want extra maintenance. They don't want to learn how to care for fish, deal with pond pumps, or manage specialty landscaping. So if you love that kind of thing, great. Just know it may not be a value add for the next buyer. Now, number 5 is converting the garage into living space. I understand why people do this. Sometimes families need extra room, especially with multi-generational living or changing family needs. But from a resale standpoint, this one can really hurt you. A lot of buyers want a garage for parking, storage, or for both. And once that garage is gone, you've narrowed your buyer pool. So if you absolutely need to do it for your lifestyle, that is one thing, but don't assume it's going to add a lot of value just because you created more living space. Now, number 6 is adding a sunroom. Sunrooms can be really nice, and in some markets, people love them. But financially, they don't often return what people spend. And one thing a lot of homeowners don't realize is that a sunroom usually does not count the same way as true interior square footage. So if your goal is to add value by adding livable square footage, a sunroom often doesn't do that the way people expect. Now, number 7 is doing a major custom home office remodel. A few years ago, this was a huge trend, and for some people, it still makes sense. But the more custom you make an office, the more limited that room becomes for future buyers. Built-in, special layouts, expensive office-specific upgrades, those things may work great for you, but the next buyer may want that room as a bedroom, nursery, workout room, or flex space. So I'd keep that kind of room as flexible as possible. Now, number 8 is installing a gourmet, ultra high-end kitchen. Now, I'm not saying don't update your kitchen. Kitchens matter, but there's a point where people can overspend. Massive luxury appliances, highly custom finishes, and super expensive upgrades do not always come back dollar for dollar. If you love to cook and want that for your own enjoyment, go for it. But if you're doing it purely for resale, I'd be very careful not to over-improve beyond what your neighborhood supports. And number 9 is adding a huge primary suite addition. This is one of the most expensive upgrades people can do, and it often doesn't return nearly what it costs. If you truly need this space and plan to stay for a long time, that's different. But if you're doing it because you think it's a guaranteed value booster, it usually isn't. And on top of that, if the addition doesn't blend well with the rest of the house, it can actually make the home feel awkward from the outside or inside. And number 10 is over remodeling a bathroom. Bathrooms matter too, but this is another place where people can go too far. Heated floors, ultra luxury finishes, expensive stone everywhere, fancy custom features. Those things can add up quickly, and buyers often won't pay you back for them. And a clean, updated, functional bathroom is great. It does not have to be wildly expensive to make a strong impression. So here's the big takeaway. I am not telling you not to do these upgrades. I'm just telling you to be honest about why you're doing them. If you're doing it because you'll love it and you'll use it, that is one thing, and go for it. But if you're doing it because you think it's going to make you a fortune when you sell later, that's where people get disappointed. So one of the smartest things you can do before starting a major project is look at your neighborhood and talk to a good local real estate agent. Talk to a good real estate agent, because you do not want to over improve for the area. You want your home to fit the neighborhood and still appeal to future buyers. So that's where having the right guidance matters. And I'd love to know, which of these upgrades surprised you the most? Or is there one that you'd still do anyways because you enjoyed it that much? Let me know in the comments. And if you're looking to buy or sell, or you want help on that loan side, click the link below. I'd love to help you here in Colorado, or connect you with an amazing agent just like me nationwide. I hope to talk to you soon.